Hello, hello, hello. Do-do-do-do-do-do. You guys, I had the best morning ever, and now I have to turn that morning into a voice memo. So if you know me on a personal level, I love relationships, and I love specifically my neighborhood relationships. Now, I would say I'm not quite in the auntie status. I'm still pretty young. I feel like I'm like the cool older sister. So you will always find me either helping a neighbor out with mowing their lawn, walking their dog, babysitting their kiddos. I love doing quick runs to the grocery store for my family. And I realized that in those small social interactions, you start to really build community. And this is where I felt like this morning, it was the accumulation of all those small moments. So my mom and I, we head over to the grocery store. We walk in. She wanders off to find something. And I make my beeline over to Starbucks, where I check in with my favorite baristas. One of them just got married. The other one's looking for another part-time job. And it's always just really fun and raw conversations that we have. And it's just a highlight of my day. Now, as I'm talking with one of my favorite baristas, here comes Lumiere. And if y'all don't know Lumiere is a Seattle icon. He owns a business called Mojitos that rests right on Lake City Way. And it is a phenomenal Latin-inspired restaurant. And if the food's not good, maybe the vibes are even better. Because it's just community. Like, you walk in and you feel like you're at home. And what makes it even more better is Lumiere does so much for the city, whether he makes additional plates to donate to our local food bank, or he shows up for the University of Washington and he volunteers to feed the football team, which is no easy task, to doing even the small things such as buying my mom flowers earlier this year. He is a gem. So anyways, here comes this man interrupting my conversation. And so I see him, I give him a hug. He picks me up, swings me around. It feels like a great Hollywood moment. Anywho, now he and I are running through the aisles trying to find out where my mom is, find her in the water aisle because that girl loves sparkling water. And we are just chopping it up. Now, Lumiere runs off to go grab some grocery items for the restaurant, and my mom and I continue to check out. But again, what would be a simple 5-minute process, or really 5 seconds of checking out, turned into like 10 minutes. We start talking to our favorite workers. We run into old friends. I run into old high school mates. And this small, simple task of going to the grocery store has now turned into what feels like a miniature family reunion. And that's kind of where I want to start the podcast, which is, what is culture? When you think of culture, what are your thoughts? Do you think of it as this scary thing, like this invisible layer that just covers all of our social relationships? Or, from a sociological perspective, is culture the sustained practices of how we engage over time? For example, if you were to go into a classroom, you kind of get the mannerisms for sitting down, open up your laptop, taking out your pen and paper, and getting ready for your lecture. Versus if you were to go to a church, you're a little more modest perhaps. You go, you find your spot in the pew, you wait for either the pastor or the priest to begin their message, and it's relatively a more quiet environment, depending on the denomination. But you get the gist of culture is the way that you choose to subscribe to the social patterns around you. But if you're listening to this podcast, that means you may have a little wild hair in you, or you may just be friends with me. And that means that you get to change culture based off how you show up in that space. So I would say is make it simple with how you understand the culture, and also make it fun, make it spontaneous, make it great and engaging. Whether you are going to a business meeting, whether you are going to work, or whether you're going to the grocery store, is you can change the culture simply by how you show up, and not even specifically in that space. But keep in mind, using the grocery store as an example, my ability to connect with people stemmed from everything that I did outside of that place, right? Being the neighborhood older sister, walking the dog, saying hi to friends, mowing lawns. Like, you don't realize that in all those small social interactions, they build up to building a healthy, positive, engaging culture and community that you not only find yourself living in, but others find themselves living in as well. And that's what I would say. So I'm about to hop off. I'm literally about to go walk my neighbor's dog. Then later this evening, I am headed to my friend. He has a food eating competition. It's called Gullet Stuffer. And what's so great about this food eating competition is that it actually raises money to purchase food for our community fridges, which are fridges based in local businesses here in Seattle that are open to our unhoused and homeless neighbors. So they have the opportunity to come in, grab whatever they need from the fridge, and then they go on their way. And so Gullet Stuffer, I believe this is its third, if not fourth event. And every year it gets bigger and brighter. And I think my older sister's actually performing tonight. So I'm going to go ahead, walk the dogs, go to that event. In the meantime, check Gullet Stuffer out online. I don't know what the Instagram handle is, but I'll put it in today's bio, as well as check out Mojitos. And when you go, tell Lumer that Jessamyn sent you. Okay, he'll give you a big hug. Anywho, that's it, and have a powerful day.